So I want to talk to you guys about a project, but I need your help. So I've thought about writing a book about my journey and my mental health stuff for a very long time, and I have sat down so many times to write this book, but every time I stop, and I think it's because I don't really know what I want the book to be about, apart from me. And then I was thinking, really what I want the book to be is that I want it to be a book that people who are suffering with mental health stuff can read and know that things can get better, and that there is always, if nothing else, there is always hope. Without hope, we have nothing. And I think personally for me, just having a little bit of hope that things weren't going to remain that shit forever was the reason that I didn't give up. But where does that hope come from? Other people. Other people's stories, what they went through, how they recovered, what advice they have for others. Because without hearing about these stories or knowing people that have been through similar things and come out the other end, how are you meant to have hope when you don't know that things can get better? I was lucky enough to have a few friends in my life that had been through a similar thing, and also I looked on certain websites and just found people's stories there really. And I would say reading those stories and listening to my friends talk about their stuff was probably the major factor that contributed into me still being here, really. Yeah. So then I thought, fuck, that is the book. It's so simple, yet so fucking helpful. There is a book that I've heard about, I haven't actually read it, but there's a book that was very popular. I think it's called Letters to My 12-Year-Old Self or Dear My 12-Year-Old Self. It's something like that. And all the book is a collection of people's stories, some of them famous, about if they were going to write to their 12-year-old selves and what they would tell them. And I guess I thought this book could be similar to that, but obviously very much focusing on mental health. Okay, so the idea. Now I haven't worked out a title for it yet, and I'm someone that loves thinking of titles. I'm thinking There Is Always Hope, or When All Hope Is Lost. I think I quite like that last one. And this book will be a collection of everyone's stories of their journey with mental health and how they overcame them or how they learnt to live with them, whatever the case may be. And also maybe they have advice for the people reading it as well. I want to give people a chance to tell their story to the world, and hopefully these stories will really, really help people. From my own personal experience and from the people I know, when you've been through something like that, you feel very passionate and empathetic for anyone else that is suffering, and you will do whatever you can to help them and just to make them feel less alone. I will of course include my own story in this book and be sharing what I learned through my breakdown and how I have learned to recover from it and just be okay with anxiety and understanding what it is and everything else that is involved in it. I also want to highlight people's ages and also what they do, because I know from talking to a lot of people who've never suffered from it, they don't understand that if you're a millionaire, you're a housewife, a CEO, you're unemployed, you've got more money than you can shake a dick at, whatever. That doesn't even make sense. But what I'm saying is that they think that because you have certain materialistic things that you could never want to kill yourself, but that is such utter shit. It can affect anyone. Anyone of any age, doesn't matter what you do. Anxiety doesn't give a fuck, and I need to highlight that in this book. Because honestly, when I was suffering, reading recovery stories from people, I just found that so helpful, and I would read them every day before I'd kind of go out and do what I was doing, because it just helped me kind of remind me that there is hope and things can get better, because when you're in it you cannot see that at all. So by reading it and reading all these amazing stories, I just found so fucking helpful. And for me, I had to really kind of search online to find these stories, and I want to make sure all these stories are in one place. So if you're suffering, you can just buy this book, and all the amazing recovery and inspirational stories and people are in this one book. So it's just one place to go to, no searching. So I've explained the idea, I think. Right? You get it? Yeah. So obviously you understand why I now need your help. I'm looking for people who have suffered from mental health issues and come out the other side. Now when I say you've come out the other side, I really want to stress I don't mean that you won't feel anxious again or you don't feel depressed again. I still go through extremely bad patches and that is very normal. I just mean I want stories of people that have either completely recovered, which if you have, that is absolutely amazing. I want to hear that story. But also if you've learnt to live with it and how you've learnt to live with it and how you've got to that stage. So I want people of all spectrums. I just want the stories to be inspirational and to give people hope. So yeah. So if this sounds like something you would like to be involved in, I would absolutely love nothing more. So all I need from you is your name, but I do have to stress, by the way, you can be anonymous. You can completely be anonymous if you want. So if you would like your name, your age and what you do, and then just tell me your story. Your story can be 10 lines long, it can be 50 lines long, it can be 100 lines long. It just can't be long enough to be like the whole book or half the book, you know? Because I need other people's stories in it too. So don't go crazy on the story, but feel free to tell it for however long you to a point. I have set up an email address. It is weareallmental@gmail.com. Yeah, I did set that up. I will also leave the email in the description below, so please check that out. Yeah, that's kind of it really. I'm so grateful to anyone in advance that sends me their stories. So thank you so much in advance if you do. I don't quite know timescales, if I'm going to self-publish it, if I'm going to try and get it published. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm tempted to just self-publish it, to be honest. Or have it as an ebook at the beginning. I don't know. I'll work it out. But for the moment, I just want to get all the stories in one place. So obviously I need your help with that. So yeah. That's all I wanted this video to be, really. I'm so excited about doing something like this. For so many years, I worked on crap or did crap that I wasn't passionate about, and it feels so amazing to be doing something I'm so passionate about. I could just like burst into fucking tears. I just love it. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I hope everyone is well, and yeah, again, thank you in advance for helping me out on this. I love you all. Bye.
This bridge is made of hope.